All right, let's talk. For the next few minutes, I want you to think of me as your legal consultant. You've got the big idea, you've got the drive. But before you take another step, there is one huge decision that will shape absolutely everything that comes next. So, we're going to break down the most important choice you'll make before you even think about opening for business, choosing the right legal structure for your company.
So, you're on the starting line, ready to go. But let's be honest for a second. What's that one thing in the back of your mind that's really nagging at you? Is it failing? Or is it the thought of losing your own hard-earned money if things don't work out? What's that thing that keeps you up at night?
You know, for most founders, it's exactly that. It's the fear of losing personal assets if the business goes south. We're talking about the house, your savings, everything. But here's the good news. The right company structure acts as a legal shield. It builds a wall between your business debts and your personal life. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's build that shield.
Okay, your very first choice really just boils down to one simple question. How much personal financial risk are you actually willing to take on? There are basically three main levels of liability, and the one you pick is going to set the foundation for your whole business structure. This table basically lays out your three main paths. Now, for most of you starting a for-profit business, a company limited by shares is going to be your go-to. It's pretty simple. Your personal risk is capped at whatever you've invested in shares. Once those are paid for, your personal stuff is safe. Then you've got limited by guarantee. Think of this as the nonprofit option. You just promise a small, fixed amount if the whole thing ever winds down. And then there's the unlimited company. The name says it all. There is literally no limit to your personal liability. It is high risk for sure, but you sometimes see it with professional partnerships where there's an incredible amount of trust.
All right, so you've got your liability shield picked out. The next big decision is all about ambition. It's about how big you want to grow. Do you see this as a tightly controlled business? Are you dreaming of raising money from the public someday? This choice between going private or public is huge.
And the first big difference comes down to a magic number, 50. A private company has a hard limit. You cannot have more than 50 members or debenture holders. Those are people who've loaned the company money. And by the way, employees don't count towards this number. But that limit is what keeps the ownership group really small and really controlled.
And this right here, this is the fundamental difference in how you get money to grow. A private company is legally blocked. You absolutely cannot ask the general public to buy shares or invest. All your funding has to come from private sources. But a public company, well, that's exactly what it's designed to do. It can go out to the public and offer shares to raise capital. So you see, this decision really dictates your entire fundraising strategy for the future.
Okay, deep breaths, you've picked your liability structure, you've decided on your scale. Now we get to the fun part, or what seems like the fun part, the name. But it's not just about a cool brand. Your company's name comes with some very specific legal rules you have to play by.
So the law is very clear on this. Your company name has to end with a specific suffix that tells the world what kind of legal entity it is. Whether it's LTD for a private company or PLC for a public one, these little letters are like a legal name tag. They instantly tell everyone you do business with exactly what they're dealing with.
And it's not just about the ending. Your name can't be so similar to another company's that it's misleading. The key legal test, which actually comes from a classic case about a company called Buttercup Margarine, is really simple. Just ask yourself this question. If the answer is yes, then your name is probably going to get rejected. It's got to be unique enough that nobody gets confused.
So, how do you lock your name in? It's actually a pretty straightforward process. Once you have a name that fits all the rules, you apply to the registrar of companies. They can then reserve that name for you for up to 2 months while you get all your other paperwork sorted. And hey, if you need a little more time, you can even renew that reservation.
So let's pull all of this together. We've just walked through the 3 foundational legal decisions that every single entrepreneur has to make. Think of this as more than just a list. This is your actual blueprint for building a strong, legally solid company right from day one.
And here it is, your final checklist. First, you need to figure out your comfort level with risk. That tells you if you're limited by shares, guarantee, or unlimited. Second, you have to think about your long-term money goals. That tells you if you're private or public. And third, you've got to pick and register a name that's unique and legally correct. The best part is, you can now answer all of these questions with confidence.
These first few decisions, they really are the bedrock of your entire business. They give you the protection, the structure, and the identity you need to move forward and start creating. You literally have the legal blueprint in your hand now. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?